All right, thank you, folks. This is David Rutz with DAC Healthcare and David Allen Capital. I thank you for attending tonight's live webinar. We do intend to go through a lot of information with you on this webinar. It is recorded, so you'll be able to go back and watch it over and over. This will be a training piece for other agents, not just those who are here live. Of course, being here live helps because you're able to ask questions at the end so we can clarify anything and you can walk away having full understanding so we can get out and help clients to protect themselves with healthcare. So before we get started, of course, you know, when it comes to healthcare, there's nothing better than taking care of ourselves, right? We're not saying this healthcare is an alternative to caring for ourselves. What we're talking about here is alternative to health insurance, right? So health insurance people have. We're talking about alternative healthcare when it comes to an alternative to health insurance. Of course, we recommend we take care of ourselves first. That's the ultimate healthcare, okay? But what about when you need medical care? Well, you've got health insurance. Medical expenses continue to rise, right? Premiums are going up, deductibles are going up, confusion's going up, and still over 30 million Americans are without care today, right? Well, what if you had a simple alternative solution that was more affordable and had better coverage, arguably, some would say. So let's look at it. We have something called the Freedom Plans by SBA Co-op. And this is a plan that has first dollar coverage, no deductibles, lower costs, there's no high premiums, no exclusions for pre-existing conditions, a PPOM network, over 4,000 hospitals, so big network. You save yourself money and you can save others money, and you can also get paid as one of our agents. So who's Freedom Plans? Well, I'm going to go through it this evening. It's created by SBA Co-op. And what they do is they aggregate a bunch of small business employers together to save the money. So all of them come together as one large employer group, basically. And so it's a partially self-funded healthcare coverage. It's regulated by ERISA. That's very, it's a compliant, rich organization. And that means we can market this in every state. When you're ERISA regulated and ERISA compliant, you can market your healthcare in every state. And it's ACA compliant, which is the Affordable Care Act that President Obama brought forth. And he had some minimal coverages that must be in every plan for it to be ACA compliant. These plans cover all those minimal coverage requirements, okay? So it's ACA compliant, ERISA compliant, self-funded. So a little bit about the plans. There's a few to choose from, and I'm gonna break them down in a minute. But each one of them has an individual option and a family option. And each has cost sharing built in, where either 50% of the cost you pay and they pay, or 80% they pay and 20% we pay. So, you know, it's called cost share. It's first dollar coverage, zero deductible, and there's PPO contracted savings. What does that mean? Let's say I, God forbid, roll my ankle going down the stairs and I break my ankle, okay? And I got to go in for a cast, and have my x-rays, and I go to emergency, and maybe I need to have surgery, who knows. But when I go in, if I'm a cash paying customer, I pay a cash price, all right? That's maybe, let's just say it's $2,200 for my broken ankle, cash price. That's what they're gonna bill me because I don't have insurance, let's say. Well, if I go in with this healthcare and I hand them my SBA Co-op card, they then, it's a contracted price through the PPO preferred organization that says, okay, a broken ankle with an x-ray is only maybe $1,100 instead of $2,200. So now the hospital can only charge me $2,200 because I'm contracted with this PPO price, right? And they bill our administrator. They don't even bill you. They bill the administrator. The administrator comes back and says, okay, we agree to pay $1,100. And so then the amount for that broken ankle is only $1,100, which of course the coverage plan covers part of it based on which plan you have. I'll show you that in a minute. But the key is this: you don't pay cash prices. If you go get stitches, you know, you have a cut on your arm and you need 12 stitches and you go to emergency for that and you don't have insurance, you're going to pay a cash price. And maybe it's emergency visit plus doctor plus this is $800 for those 12 stitches. Well, PPO price may only be $275, right? So you save a ton of money just by having this, number one, plus they cover a part of it. So it's not just a savings program, it saves you and there's cost sharing built in. I'll show you that in a minute. does cover all your ACA, preventative care, routine checkups, pap smears, physicals, all the requirements that Affordable Care Act said you had to cover. Certain pharmaceuticals are covered 100%, the things that President Obama wanted to make sure everyone had access to. Okay? Primary care visits are covered, urgent care visits are covered, x-rays and CTs, MRIs are covered, lab and diagnostic services covered. So you pay part of it, they pay part of it. Some of it's they pay 100%, or they pay 100%, some of it they don't. Depends on if it's ACA. So you want to learn about the plans, but basically, it's just like any other health insurance, although it's not insurance. Okay, you get pharmaceutical coverage, you even get 24-hour medicine with no deductible. You can talk to a doctor at any time, and it's a doctor's appointment, but you don't have to pay for it. It's all done telemedicine. Today's world, who wants to go into the doctor's office? It also comes with inpatient substance abuse benefits. All other medical services are eligible for PPO discounts. So anything else you can go get a PPO plan to cover, this covers. Okay. And the details, of course, are all in the minutia is in the plan, but I'm just giving you highlights here. So let me show you something. Let's look at this for a minute. Let's compare our alternative healthcare with standard health insurance based on what you've heard thus far. Okay. Well, let's look at standard health insurance and us. We both provide ACA wellness visits. Okay, 100% coverage. Now, every insurance has a copay charge: $5, $10, $25, $30. Ours is $20. So theirs could be $30. You might have an insurance plan with a $30 copay. It actually costs you more for your physical than with us. Okay, so we both cover ACA compliant requirements. Okay, that's important. All right, now difference is standard health insurance, almost all of them have a deductible. And the deductible is 100% covered by you, means you pay it all. You don't get any coverage. And right now, according to eHealth, the average deductible in 2018 was $43.28 for an individual and $83.52 for a family. That means, other than your physical, other than your ACA wellness visits, other than that, your first $4,300 as an individual, you pay 100%. They don't cover any of it. If you're a family, the first $8,300, you pay 100%. They don't cover any of it. Okay, that is their coverage. Now you're paying premiums to get all those ACA visits and have insurance if you go above your deductible. Most people never even go above their deductible. Okay, ours, we have $1 coverage. Immediately, $1, 50-50 coverage. You pay 50%, they pay 50%, and of course it's on the discounted amount. So again, let's give that example. I roll my ankle, I go in. If I'm paying cash, maybe it's $2,200 for that emergency visit. With our PPO plan through SBA Freedom Protect, you give them that plan, and they say, okay, a broken ankle is $972. Okay, well, $972, they pay half, you pay half. So they'd say it's $972, they'd send the hospital 50% of that, and then the hospital would bill you for 50% of $972. So you see here, if you had insurance, you're gonna pay that whole $972 because you haven't met your deductible yet. With us, you only pay 50% of the $972 because we don't have a deductible. Most families never go above their deductible. Okay, but now insurance is great if you go above your deductible because they'll cover a bunch of stuff, but you still pay 10% of it up to 40%. Depends on the plan you have. The Affordable Care Act, if you got like the gold plan, you're paying 40%, they're paying 60%. So with us, we're paying 50-50, $1. They don't even cover 100% once you pass your deductible in health insurance, right? Now this is our basic plan. We have another plan, it's a little bit higher where you still pay 50-50, but once you've covered 5,000, then they cover 80% and you only cover 20. So in case you do have a higher expense, they start covering more of it. Now here's the key, folks, right here. Most individuals never need more than $7,500 a year. Most don't need 75. In fact, this might be most families, but let's just keep it as individuals so I don't overpromise here. Most will never need more than 7,500 in a year. And in fact, I think it was 82% use under 7,500 a year. So think about this. Your first 4,300 as an individual or 8,300 as a family, you pay 100%, plus you have these expensive premiums. With ours, you're paying 50/50 only $1. If you only have 7,500 in needs, 50% of that would be 3,750 you'd be out. If you had it with insurance, you'd be out all 7,500 because you haven't met your deductible yet. See, so we're even for the average family, we're alternative. We're providing the same PPO network, the same doctors, but we don't have a deductible, so we're saving you a bunch of money. Where's insurance better? When you have a huge catastrophe and you go real high and you're going way above, because we have limits. We have limits of $40,000 in coverage here, right? So our highest plan only goes to $40,000. Where what if you have a $300,000 need or a $200,000 need? Well, that's what insurance is helpful for. So for the ones that have a higher end, insurance is good. We go, well, Dave, I really want that. We've heard you. So I want to tell you that we've got something coming. We've got a high-end plan coming that'll cover up to $500,000 per person in your family at the PPO rate, which is like $1 million cash price. That's launching within the next couple weeks, we believe. We've already got everything in place. We've already got the videos done. We've already got the websites done. We've already got everything done. We're just waiting for a couple more legal things to make sure that everything is compliant the way we need it to be. And we'll have all the upper end covered too, with zero deductible and no coverage on your part. 100% is covered by the plan. So not like the insurance where you got to cover 10 to 40%. If you had a $200,000 charge, you're still going to pay 10% of that minimum, 20 grand. Not with us. Not with us. You go to an RHI and it's 100% covered. So we are coming out there saying we've got an alternative plan that kicks butt. Okay, well, what's it cost, Dave? What's it cost? I mean, yeah, your plan is really good. You've now got, because of that orange box, you've got the answer for the high-end coverage. We had them. Hey, if you're under 7,500 in needs, we're kicking their butt. We're kicking their butt, even if our prices were the same. Before I switch slides, let's assume here for a moment, you are a family and you only have $8,000 in needs. Well, guess what? You paid all $8,000 out of pocket because you didn't reach your deductible yet, because your average deductible is $8,352. So you have $8,000 in needs. You paid 100% out of pocket. You got the bills right from the hospital. You got the bills from the doctor's office. You got the bills. The only thing that got covered for you was the ACA wellness visits. For those expensive premiums you're paying, all you got was the wellness visits because you only spent $8,000 in premiums, so you had to pay all of it. They didn't cover anything for you except your wellness visits. They didn't cover any of your emergency stuff because you didn't meet your deductible yet. With us, let's say we're paying the same monthly cost. With us, we covered those same wellness visits at a lower copay probably. And we covered 50% of your 8,000 in needs. We covered 4, you covered 4. So we saved you $4 grand. Same PPO network, right? So we saved you $4,000 if you only had 8,000 in needs, if the monthly premiums were the same. If the monthly price was the same, we already saved you $4 grand. If you're the average human out there, that won't exceed that $8,000. Now, again, what if you have a massive catastrophe and you need 100,000? Well, right now they got us whooped because we don't cover up to 100,000, but we will very soon. I think within weeks. I think by the end of March, you're going to see this go live. We'll cover up to $500,000 a person, okay? And a lower rate than they're charging, trust me, you'll see. So let's talk about where we already show if you're the average person out there, the average person out there isn't going to need $8,000, or they're only going to need $7,500, and the average deductible is $8,000. So we're kicking their butt, even if the prices are the same. But let's look at the prices. According to eHealth, not only was the average deductible $43.28 and $83.52, but according to the Kaiser Family Foundation, who went through, and I just did a quick search on prices, they said this, and this is published September 25th of last year, the pricing, okay? Here you go, $600 a month is the average individual price, and $4,300 average deductible, as I already said. So $600 a month is the average. In fact, it was $599.80 something, but I just rounded it to 600. So don't think I'm rounding up without disclosing it. I rounded up by less than $1. Okay, so 600 a month for simplicity. I didn't want to put the decimal point. 600 a month. What is our basic plan? And by the way, that's with a $4,000 deductible. So you're paying $600 a month for the green stuff, for the ACA wellness visits, and the risk, if you got real high expenses, you're covered. But your first $4,300, sorry, out of pocket. What's our plan look like? Our individual basic plan for the low one is $285, and that covers 80% of the individuals up to that $7,500. $285 a month only, not $600. It gives you all the green, and it covers up to your first $7,500 in needs. Pretty darn cool. An individual, you want more coverage? It's only $365. And what about when we launch this $500,000 deal? Well, that's based on your age. But let me just share what you'd be if you was 50 years old. It'd be $620 a month. Not, they're $600 with a $4,300 deductible, and they cover, you'd still have to cover 10 to 40% of any insurance over the deductible. With ours, it'd be $620, and it's fully covered over the 20 grand. The first 20 grand, you could have to pay $14,000 at the first 20 grand. Where with them, you pay $4,300 minimum, plus you pay 10 to whatever percent of the first 20 grand. Over that, you pay 10 to 40%. We're 100% coverage. So look at that, guys. And the average family out there stays below the red line. $285 a month versus $600, and they got a deductible and we don't. Come on, man. Okay, let's look at family. Family plan. What's the family plan pay? $1,714 is the average a month for a family, and $8,352 is the average deductible. Are you kidding me? $1,700 a month for a family. What's our family plan cost? Well, for the basic, it's $425 a month. That covers up to $7,500 at 50/50 coverage plus all your ACA visits, right? What if you want our higher plan? Okay, well, that's $580 a month. Is it a little cheaper than $1,714? Yeah, it's still 50/50 coverage for the first 10,000, and then 20% you cover of the next 10,000. So you'd have to pay $7,000 out of 20. You'd be responsible for 7 of your 20,000. If you wanted to go above 20,000, you could add our high-end medical plan, which will cover $500,000 per person in your family, and that's the discounted PPO price. It's more about $1 million in cash price. So what does it cost to add the high-end coverage? If you're 50 years old, if you're younger than 50, it's going to be less. If you're over 60, it's going to be a little more. But let's just say around 50 years old, it would cost you $955 a month for your entire family. Look at that, $1,714 is the average insurance, $955 for ours, and you'd have up to $500,000 in coverage per person, with your maximum family out of pocket is $14,000. To cover the blue boxes there with the 50% and the 20%, the maximum out of pocket for your family would be $14,000, and you'd have $500,000 coverage. With them, you've got an $8,300 deductible before they do anything, and you don't have a max. You could have 40% of 200,000. You're gonna spend another 8 grand. I'm sorry, 80 grand, right? So ours, you don't have any coverage above the 20, and the maximum you could have to cover is 14,000. So the maximum out of pocket would be 14,000. You got $500,000 in coverage per person at $955 a month. You're saving off your premium $800 a month, almost, and you have no deductible. Come on, man. Alternative healthcare. Yeah, I get excited about this because the employer is paying for this. There's another study that showed the average employee, 70% of their cost is being paid by their employer. So we go show an employer how they can save this 70% of that $1,700. They could put everyone on the 955 plan and save $800 a month per employee. And the employee wouldn't have a deductible. Pretty darn cool, don't you think? Now, again, this is generalization. You want to look at all the details, but so how would you select plan if you want to go to plan? It's real simple. You go to the website. By the way, you're not going to see the high-end above 20 grand plan there yet. That will be coming. I've got it. Look, I'm looking at it right now in front of me. I've got the prices. I've got all the coverage. I've got everything in front of me, but it's not on the website yet. So you'd go to your website, dachhealthcare.com/your ID number. You decide which coverage limits you want, what you can afford. You watch the tutorial video. If you still have questions, contact the licensed agent at the Contact Us button on your website at DAC Healthcare. Neither DAC support or Youngevity support can answer questions about these plans. We ask licensed agents to answer questions. All right, I'm giving you an overview. If you want to dive deeper, ask questions on here. If I can't answer them, I'll refer you to the licensed agents to answer them. So how to use this, how to use the plan. Watch how easy it is. Once you're activated, you're going to get digital cards, and then you'll have cards sent to you in the mail, just like your insurance. If you've ever had insurance, you're going to get a card, and then once you get your membership pack and your digital card, you just go into the doctors and you find out which doctors you can go to based on the PPO network. You show them your card, just like when you do with insurance. If you have a copay, you pay the copay of $20 if it's a physical visit or something. But if it's any other visit, they bill you. You don't pay them right now. It's not a cash deal. You give them the card, they bill our plan administrator. The co-op administrator then tells them what the price is that they've agreed to take. So a concussion, they've already agreed on what a concussion protocol is. They already know what they're going to get paid. It's a PPO network. It's cash. They'll charge whatever they want. But the co-op administrator says, okay, you had a concussion, the MRI, the protocol, the emergency room visit, the 4-hour viewing and watch over, and the special care is $1,600, let's say. And maybe the doctor wants to charge you $3,700, but it's only $1,600. And what'll happen is the administrator will pay their portion. Let's say it's at the 50-50 portion. They'll pay half of that amount that they agreed to pay, and then you'll be billed by the hospital the other half. Okay, so you're never paying right then. They bill you for the rest of it, and you pay it. How do you sign up? It's real simple. You go to dachealthcare.com/yourid. This is if you want to enroll yourself. I'll go through this in a minute. You go to on the left, you enroll where it says DACYGY. You would enter a routing number and account number. You can't do this with credit card. You're billed on the 28th of the month. You have to enroll by the 20th. You'll get a welcome email in a welcome portal immediately, and your physical cards will be mailed to you. Okay, can you share this? Absolutely. Immediately you can. You do not have to be licensed. You can refer this to businesses and individuals. If you refer this to a business owner or an employer, they would visit your website, dachealthcare.com/yourid number. Okay. And if you're sharing with someone in your team, they go to their website. Okay, so if I'm in your team and I want to get personal volume for this, I order it for myself. Okay, so I would go to my website. But if you share this with a business owner, they go to your website and join. Okay. Again, I'll ask questions if this wasn't clear. We have these drop cards. These are tremendous. They go over the high-end features of the program and show the value to a business owner. We suggest you get these drop cards. They're great leave behinds. They're basically brochures at a lower price with the top items. When you share it with an employer or an employer group or a business owner, they go to your website, they click on fill out form or quote. Then what happens, you're going to be notified that you have a prospective client. You're going to arrange a 3-way call with the experts. Okay, so there's a quote that's going to be sent to you and the customer, and then you're going to arrange a 3-way call with the SBA team. There's experts. Okay, you don't have to be the expert. You're just the hand holder, right? You're the relationship. You then, the experts help the employers and their employees choose the plan. Takes a little time. Enrollment occurs, and again, the SBA experts are handling all this, and then the membership packages are sent. Okay, I'm oversimplifying, but I just want you to know your job is to get them to your website. Then your job is to arrange a 3-way call with your team leader, which would be the SBA folks, and of course with the client. Okay, now simple strategy. I'm going to talk to you how you can make money with this, and then we'll go to your questions. I'm giving overviews. We've got more detailed trainings you may have seen, but I want to give you some overviews here. So here's a simple strategy of how you can use this. You already saw how we're saving people money. There's so many uninsured people out there, you can sign up to this as well. Let me just say one more thing before I go into the strategy. For someone to sign up on this, they must be an employer group of 2 or more. Okay, they must be 2 or more, or they must be a DAC agent. When I say DAC, of course, I mean Youngevity or any of the Youngevity family of companies. So they have to have an ID number with Youngevity in DAC to get this as an individual. So there's two ways. One, as an individual, they'd have to be an agent of ours, or two, if they're an employer, they could sign up their employer group, an employee group, two or more. Okay, they have to be affiliated via a company. So if you have an individual, if you have a neighbor that you want to sign up to this and they're not in the business, but they want healthcare and they don't have an employer group that you're going to take this to, they just want to use it as an individual, then what you would do is sign them up in DAC. Once they're an agent, they can then order the healthcare. And you can have them order your number even, so you get the personal volume, right? But they have to be an agent first. They don't have to order it from themselves, but they have to be an agent before they can order it. Okay, so let's talk strategy here. This is a strategy for you. How do you build a significant residual income? It's real simple. It's called Help 3, Get 3 through 3. What does this mean? Well, let me show you how you're paid first. As an individual plan, there's 75 personal qualifying volume points and 60 bonus volume. This is paid in our residual plan. So you have qualifying volume points that helps you qualify. And then there's bonus volume points or profit volume on what we pay the commissions on. So if you sign up someone to a family plan, it's 100 personal qualifying volume points. So if you sign your own family up, you've got 100 points. If you sign yourself up and you're an individual, you have 75 points. Okay, that was the personal volume that helps you qualify in the residual plan. All right, now, if we refer a business owner, remember there's 2 employees minimum, the average you're going to earn is $12 per employee as an individual plan and $16 if it's a family plan. Okay, so but now here's the key. Each business has on average 5 individuals and 5 families. So if you have 5 individuals per business at $12, that's 140. It's $16.80 a year you're going to earn per business, just from your client income, because they have 5 individuals and 5 families. So you have 5 times 12 is 60, plus 5 times 16 is 80. It's 140 a month. So you're making $16.80 a year per business you sign up on average if there's 10 employees. What if there were 30 employees? What if there's only 2 employees? You see, you get $12 per month per individual plan and $16 per month per family. But you're also creating volume, right? So let's just say here's your strategy. Help 3, Get 3 through 3. Watch this. Now, you'll earn over 80,000 a year residually for doing this. Now, this is just mathematic demonstration. There's no promise you're going to earn this, of course. But here's your goal. Goal number 1, get 3. So what does that mean? Get 3 businesses to sign up. They're going to average 10 employees each. That's what our experts tell us. You may have a 2 employee company and you may have a 20. That would average 10, right? So you have 3 clients. What if it took you a year to do this? Is that all right? Yeah, it's all right. Let's just say you're going for this. You know, this isn't a college degree that you got to invest 4 years into. It may take you a month to do this only. It may take you 2 months. Don't worry about it. You're doing this part-time. Go out and get 3 clients. You're saving them all money with the healthcare as we showed earlier, right? What happens is you're going to be, just for getting those 3 clients, you're going to average about $5,000 a year income. Boom, you just gave yourself a $5,000 raise. Go to your current employer and tell them you want a $5,000 raise. What is it going to take? You have to prove yourself. You have to hope they have the money, this and that and the other, right? Here, what do? Just go get 3 clients. Just do it. Why stop at 3? But there you go. So that's goal number 1, get 3. Now, you'll also have personal qualifying points of 2,500 points a month in the pay plan. You only need 300 to qualify at the top ranks, right? So you're well over qualified for that. Plus you're producing bonus volume. And every person in your team that does this is producing 2,500 points in QV and 2,000 bonus volume points. We pay on bonus volume. That's profit volume that we're paying through the field. You're going to see how this works out in a minute. A lot of revenue is being created from those 3 businesses. Do you see that? And it's residual. People don't quit their healthcare. So that's goal number 1. Goal number 2, help 3, get 3. So you've got your 3 clients. Now go out and help 3 other agents. They could be existing agents. They could be new agents. But help 3 do the same. Help 3 people go make $5 grand a year by helping 3 businesses. All right? So if these 3 all do it, they'd all be earning $5 grand a year, but guess what else happens? you'd be making an extra $6,000 a year. So you'd be making about $11,000 a year now just by helping 3 get 3. So you got 3 and you help 3 get 3, and you're at it making an extra $11,000 a year. Now this is math. Let me, instead of saying you, I'll just say a person, if they did this, would be making 11,000. You see that? Okay, so we're goal number 2 is done. This person just bumped themselves $10,000 a year by helping people with some health care. And the next year they're getting it again. And the following year they're getting it again. And the following, could you imagine getting paid this year off work you did in 2012? I do. A lot of people do in our company. You imagine getting paid off work you did in 2003? I do. That was 17 years ago. Some of you weren't even alive yet. Or some of you were just born when we got customers that we're still getting paid on. It's called residualized income. You get paid, and with healthcare, they keep using the service. All right. Now, we're only done with goal number 2. How about goal number 3? By the way, you've got a lot of points, right? And before I go into goal number 3, each personal enrolled agent you help get 3 clients, you make about $2,000 a year. So you don't have to stop at 3. You enroll another agent, help them get 3, that's another $2,000. Another agent, help them get 3, another $2,000. Another agent, help them get 3, another $2,000. So you want to keep giving your city, you want to make $20,000, recruit 10 other people and help them each get 3 clients. Boom, another $20,000 to you while they're all making 5. Okay, it's pretty lucrative. Now, let's go to the next goal. Help 3, get 3, through 3. What? Yeah. So let's teach our team to duplicate this. And when you're level 9, when you're second level, there's 9 agents there, all get 3 clients, your total income just bumped above $35,000. Now let's just stop here. Let's just stop for a minute. Do you have 400 people in your team? No, you have 12. Do you have 4,000 customers in your team? No, you have 12 agents with 3 customers each plus your 3. So you have 39 customers total, and you're at $35,000 a year? Yeah. If they all average 10 customers, yeah. What if they don't average 10, Dave? Then you make less. What if they average more than 10 days? Then you make more. What if I don't get my 3 clients? Then you don't make this. What if my 3 don't do it? Then you don't make this. What if they do more? Then you make more. But folks, we can stop right here. When I got out of Michigan, my first job offer was a company called Accenture, or as Anderson Consulting at the time. They offered me $31,000. GM offered me $36,000. Look at that. After a 4-year degree, after paying all that money, and there's people coming out of college right now who don't have jobs waiting for them. How about this? Your first semester, just get 3 clients. Recruit 3 other agents who see it, who get 3 clients, and help them do the same thing. Recruit 3 who get 3 clients. Can you do that in your first year in college? Well, if so, you're already making $35,000 residually. You're already out of college? No problem. Can you do this while you're in your 20th year of your career? Can you do this after you've been teaching school for 12 years? Yeah. Can you do this as a stay-at-home mom? Yeah. Stay-at-home dad? Yeah. Can you do this as a retiree? Of course you can. Is there any limit to when you can do this? No, of course not. I don't know about you, but I get pretty darn excited about $35,000 residually coming in just by having 3 who help 3. And all they did was all get 3 clients. And all the clients are saving money on healthcare. But we're not done. Let's drive this one more level. How? Just by duplicating the help 3 get 3, help 3 get 3, help 3 get 3. If everyone duplicates help 3 get 3, you get 3, and then you help 3 get 3, you get 3, and you help 3 get 3. And if everyone just duplicates that, you don't have to stop at 3. You can go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's no guarantee you'll ever have 3. But if you just help to duplicate one more level, you're already at $82,000 in income, you personally, residually. See, sales is great because you can work when you want to work. Being a business owner is great. Self-employed is great because you work when you want to work. But you've got to work each month or you don't get paid each month. Where residual income is great because once you get the customers, you're earning it every single month on this. You don't ever have to build a team. You can just go get a bunch of clients and earn every single month. But the fact that you can multiply a team as well. So yeah, you've got great residual income personally of helping clients, but you can also multiply your income by recruiting other agents who all start for free, who are giving away a savings on healthcare or business capital or payment processing or other services. We're just focused on healthcare right now. My goodness, there's a strategy for you. Can you do that? If it took you 4 years instead of getting your master's degree or while getting your master's degree, if you went out there and said, I'm just not going to stop till I have 3 clients using this and I find 3 other agents who get it. And then I don't call them as getting it until they've got 3 clients and recruited 3 themselves. And we're just going to keep going until we have 27 on our 3rd level. And I want to help them do the same thing, which would mean you have 81 on your 4th, and your income even goes up way more. It almost doubles. But we're not going to even go through that right now. Let's just say we stopped at this and we didn't allow you to do any more. Is that a nice residual income? You bet it is. And all this on a service that we helped you see the savings on. Again, it all starts with you getting your 3 clients. That's the key. If you don't get 3, you're not qualified to get paid on your team. DAChealthcare.com. We've got a strategy we're going to be launching on how to do this. You're going to see it part of our leadership system that comes out. But right now, we're keeping it simple with this Help 3, Get 3, Through 3. So right now, we're going to go to your questions. Hopefully, you like what you saw. Hopefully, it makes sense. Hopefully, it's understandable. But we covered a lot of information. So I'm more than happy to take your questions now. Let's go see what questions you got. All right. Welcome, welcome. Does the employer have to join before the employees can participate? The employer actually signs up as a co-op member. It's a great question, Gary. The employer signs up as a co-op member, and then the employees can all use it. The employer themselves doesn't have to become a client of the healthcare, but they must sign up as a co-op member, as a sponsor member. As an example, David Allen Capital signed up with as a co-op member with the healthcare provider. Now all of our agents can ride on our co-op membership, if you will. So yes, they do have to sign up. But again, the plan administrator handles all the activation process. You don't have to worry about any of that once they get started. You can cover this later, but my question is, what about existing conditions, say prior heart attack? Pre-existing conditions are okay. They allow pre-existing conditions. The only thing that doesn't is the extra healthcare plan that we're putting on top for the catastrophic, if you will, the over 20,000. And I believe there is a period of time where you can be brought on with pre-existing conditions, but you can't be treated for that pre-existing condition for a certain period of time. And I don't have that time in me. I think it's 90 days. It could be, I don't have that number, that date in front of me. But they'll allow you to get the health care, but if you have a pre-existing conditions, they won't treat that pre-existing condition for a certain amount of days. So you can't wait until you're like sick, and then come order and go, okay, cover me now. It's like people trying to order roadside assistance when they got a flat tire on the side of the road. Ain't gonna get covered, right? It's the same type thing. So there's gotta be some period of time that you have the coverage before you can use the coverage on a pre-existing condition, but they do allow anyone with pre-existing conditions to join, where unlike healthcare, health insurance, is a lot of them, or medical share plans, they don't allow that. The slide comparison alternative. Yeah, Chris, that happened when we were sitting at the whiteboard, buddy. When we drew that up at the whiteboard, I decided to do that comparison. I'm glad you liked that. Thank you for the comment. Dan, you asked me that earlier. Sorry I didn't respond yet. I don't know if you sent that over to them. We don't determine the network, who's in the network. So no, I've not followed up with anyone on that because I never requested it. I don't know if you requested that of them directly or not, or if I missed a mark on that. Maybe you asked Dave on the webinar, or maybe you asked me and I said I was going to get it to him. And if I did, I'll follow up. But I don't know anything about Ohio Health being added to the PPO network. We don't set up that PPO network, the PPO does. They decide that network. We just contracted with the network. So I don't know how easy it is to add anyone. I'd say it's highly unlikely, actually, because those are all contracted for a long period of time. I mean, they're determining pricing and what they're willing to pay for services, and it's I would imagine, a long contractual process. But I could be mistaken. So I would say if they're not in the network now, I would not assume they will be anytime soon. But you can, if you haven't done so already, go to the Contact Us button at their site and request it. But again, we're talking low likelihood, but you know, it can't hurt to ask, and they will see what they can do. And again, Dan, if you send it to me to look into, and I did forward it, then I'll get an update. But I'm not too not coming in with too much optimism that's going to happen anytime soon, even if they say we'll try, you know. Bob, we don't have a licensed team. You earn the same whether you're licensed or not. There may be something SBA co-op is willing to do down the road, but as of right now, everyone's paid the same. Yeah, someone says, with that 955 example you gave for the family plan, including the high-end catastrophic, does that include the lower plans? Yeah, those were totals. So that 955 included everything. That was if you're 50. You know, if you're, I think the maximum you can pay is 1,030 if you're 60 to 62. But again, until that's live, we don't have that, right? But I am looking at the prices, and yeah, the max of family cost for $500,000 per employee or per member of the family is $485 per month added to the other plans. And that's if you're 60 to 64. If you're 18 to 39, it's only $385 added for $500,000 for an individual. So it's very reasonable. I understand, Dan. I can't imagine that'll happen, but we'll try. And when I say we'll try, send it to them. I have nothing to do with the PPO network. We market for this company, but we don't create the PPO network. They do. And our program doesn't even. The PPO network itself does. They're one of the largest in the country. So I'm sure they want as many as they can, but they're not going to sign someone up who won't agree with their pricing, obviously. If the employer SBA is presenting to employees, is it by webinar with live SBA online? Yeah, Lavania, cool name. Sorry if I butchered it there, trying to say it, Lavania. Yes, the experts would be on phone. In fact, we've had sometimes they've flown out for a big group, but we certainly don't tell them that will happen. We always do it through webinar or Zoom, stuff like that. But yeah, there's live presentations done from the experts to the employees to help them understand. The good news is you don't have to, it's not like you're switching phone service where everyone's got to switch their phone from AT&T to Sprint, right? You can offer this to an employer group and they may say, hey, we'll put it on our offerings to our employees. Some of them may want it. Some of them will want to stay with their insurance because, you know, they're paying half and we're paying half. And, but hey, I tell you what, if my employer offered this, in addition to what I currently have, I would drop Blue Cross Blue Shield in a minute and jump on this once the new upper limit launches, and it would save me a lot of money each month and the employer. And so you can bet as soon as that's live, I'm going to be asking our employer to consider offering this as one of the options. And there's no open enrollment period. You can join this any month. This is so good, so needed. Well, thank you so much. So glad David Allen Capital offers this for agents to market. Dustin and I just keep saying wow throughout this whole webinar. Well, thank you, Kelsey. Kelsey, a DAC payment processing manager who's saving my butt every single day with payment processing challenges, questions. She's helping me with one of my personal clients right now. They have 3 unique needs that I had no clue how to support. And she's jumped right into it. And all 3 of those businesses are going to be switching over. And unique stuff like texting the customers when their seat's ready and or when their food's ready, and texting an order ahead, and all this being part of our payment processing. Are you kidding me? And they got you know, rental like scooters and Segways and stuff that they want to be able to swipe the card in the thing and use it, and all kinds of neat stuff. And we're handling all of it thanks to Kelsey. So thank you, Kelsey, for the kind words on this and for all you're doing for DAC. Do you have any idea if you have traditional insurance through an employer, would the amount of the Freedom Plan pay apply to the employer insurance? Would the amount the Freedom Plan pays apply to the employer insurance deductible? I'm not following you there, Matt. The amount the Freedom Plan pays. I'm not following you, but we'll have to get that answered offline. So we signed someone up, and they signed themselves up for either individual plan or business plan. If they own a business, they earn and we earn a percentage. Yeah, Sharon. So this is the way it works. If you sign up a business owner, they're a retail customer of yours, so they're not in the business. they become a retail customer of yours, you earn $12 to $16 per employee. They're not a rep. They don't earn anything, right? They're saving money. They're a customer of yours. If they sign up as an agent for themselves and then sign themselves up, they earn on themselves if they're a business, okay? You earn an override of what we call 8% of bonus volume. So you earn a percentage of all their bonus volume they produce. And we break that down in a comp plan chart. But to answer your question, yes, you do earn, but you don't earn retail profit on customers unless it is a business owner that you got. We don't pay retail profit on agents who sign up. There's just bonus volume that's paid in the residual plan, but there's no retail profit on that. Does the monthly premium for the high-end plan include the other plan? Yes, it does, Matt. Great question. You two people have asked that, so obviously I didn't cover it well. No plans immediately, Stacy. We've got some plans in the works, but those are license required things. So no plans immediately. Mark, I think I answered the pre-existing conditions. There's no exclusion to join our SBA Protect plan with pre-existing conditions, but there's a certain period of time you have to use a plan before you can use it on those pre-existing conditions. So number one, our higher end plan, it'll be above 20 grand in needs, anything above 20 grand up to $500,000, that does have some pre-existing condition restrictions. I don't know all those offhand, but it does have some. Let me see real quick. Yeah, I'm not finding it real quick here, but I know I had, if a member enrolls with a medical condition that would be considered a pre-existing condition, so this is for the high end, the 20 grand and above, up to $500,000. It will not be included for the first 24 months. So for the high end plan above 20 grand, pre-existing conditions are not covered for 2 years. Up to 20 grand, it's covered after a certain period of time. So obviously pre-existing conditions make it difficult, right? But that's the same with every plan in the planet, not just us. We just allow you to join even if you have pre-existing conditions, which is pretty darn cool. How do you order the discounted drop cards? You go, Melanie, you go to the DAC Agent Resource Center, which you can get to from the footer of your website, footer of your davidallencapital.com, davidallencapital.com. The footer of the site, you'll see Agent Resource Center. When you click there, you'll see marketing stuff, and one of them is drop cards. You can click there to order them. It's not us, it's a third-party company, but no, Ruth, we don't do loans for nonprofit organizations. We do payment processing, we do healthcare, but we don't do loans. None of our providers will do a loan because there's got to be someone who signs that loan, and nonprofits generally does not have a business owner, if you will. If I'm on the 50-50 plan, isn't my 50% considered a deductible? No, that's called a co-insurance, which you have on every insurance plan, even anything from Affordable Care Act. They have a 10% or 20 or 30 or 40% co-insurance where you pay 40% of it. Deductible is you pay 100%. You pay it all. They don't cover anything. We don't have a deductible. So just for clarification, Art, it's a great question. There's a copay. Copay is when you go in for something that's covered completely, but you pay a little doctor visit fee, like $20 or $30. That's a copay. So most doctors' visits have a copay that you cover, okay? And then you have something called a deductible, which means you pay 100% until you've covered a certain amount in the plan. And that's what that average deductible of $4,000 as an individual and $8,000 as a family. So that means you got to pay $4 grand out of pocket before they cover your stitches or your broken elbow or your concussion, right? Or whatever. I'm not even talking about elective surgery like a torn meniscus and you want to have knee surgery or LASIK or any of those. I'm talking about emergency stuff. Your first $4 grand deductible, they don't cover anything. It's not 50-50, it's nothing. Then it goes into co-insurance after your deductible is covered. I'm talking insurance now. Then it goes into co-insurance where they'll cover most, but you still cover 10 to 40%. That's insurance. So it's copay, pay your doctor's visit for your Affordable Care Act required free stuff, but you still pay a copay. Ours is 20, theirs is anywhere from 10 to 30, right? 20 is an average. So you pay copay. Then you have, with insurance, you have a deductible, because you got to pay before you can use any health care. Once that's paid, then you have co-insurance where they pay most, but you pay 10 to 40%. With us, you pay that copay, same as them for the Affordable Care Act stuff. But then you don't have a deductible. It's just 50-50 co-insurance right away. Immediately, $1, 50-50 co-insurance. Up to, it depends on the plan you have. Let's say you have our best plan, up to 10,000. Then after that, you only pay 20% and they pay 80%. With insurance, you get, unless you're on the platinum plans, you're paying 20% forever. 30%, et cetera, even after the deductible. So hopefully, Art, that clarified. If not, I can go back to that screen. You've probably said this, but what is the minimum number of employees? 2, Blair. If they don't have 2, they would have to sign up as an agent with us so they could be on the DAC plan. Does our plan cover DAC, PAC, attack, heart attack? Matthew, love it. Love it. I sent it to them. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that at all. So I'm glad you did. I was supposed to have a call with them today. It got postponed. They had a board meeting and they got stuck in that. So, but I've got it on my list to talk to them about, but I truly not thinking it's going to happen, but you never know. And if it is, it may be like 2021. I don't know how often they update these PPO networks, but I mean, books are printed, everything else. So it's a contractual thing, but we'll see what we can do. We don't determine that though. Any prescription cover? Yes, Kathy. Part of ACA compliance is there's certain things that Affordable Care Act requires it's covered at 100%. And then there's other things that are required to offer as well, and it's at a discount. So yeah, there's a prescription coverage as well as dental, as well as vision. After the 3-way call, say the employer is interested, what's the next step? Is there a video presentation on site where they represents the option to employees like traditional open enrollments? Absolutely, that's exactly how it happens, Siobhan, great question. What happens is our licensed experts walk the employer through and the personnel, and then they have a meeting. There's some going on this week with groups. In fact, Scott Fardulis is traveling all over right now doing meetings with groups. He wants to go out to the companies and present live, but what they'll do is, because they're his clients, right? So he wants to do that. But they've got groups of employees come in and hear about this, and he's presenting to them similarly to what you just saw, I'm assuming. And then they can decide whether they want to switch over to it. But most of the time, it'll be done through a video webinar or like an online demo to the personnel leader and then to the employees. But yeah, it'd be great to be in the, have a meeting, 1-hour meeting with the healthcare overview, right? And have a webinar done. So that's exactly how it's done, Siobhan. Is there a waiting period after sign up or the benefits go into effect immediately? You enroll, unless it's a pre-existing condition, then there's a delay on that. I want to say it's 90 days, but I could be wrong on that. It's on the frequently asked questions. And Nathan brought to my attention today a good point. He heard the frequently asked questions say one thing, and then someone on a training said something different. So we're trying to get clarification on how long you have to wait on a pre-existing condition before you can get coverage on that pre-existing condition. And that's why I'm beating around the bush, because I know what the frequently asked questions say, but I've been told it's different. So I'm trying to get a clarification on that. As I said earlier, if it's on the catastrophic plan, it's not launched yet, but it does come out. That has a 2-year limit before you can get pre-existing usage. No, Amy, unfortunately not. I don't believe. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't believe so unless they're in the PPO network. She's asking, are naturopathic doctors covered? If they're in the PPO network, yes, but I don't know if any NDs are included in that. No, there's not an age limit, Bill. Oh, I take that back. Yeah, there is. It goes up to 64. Once you're 65, you're on Medicare anyway, right? So it's only up to 64. Can the individual carry the plan if he moves to a new job? Yes, he can. There's something called COBRA. That's another thing about the ERISA and ACA compliance. We have to allow them to keep the plan when they move for a certain period of time minimum. How large a business can use DAC? There's no maximum. Yes, they can use it if it's over 50 employees. Do they still have to pay half? No, they do not have to. Thanks for asking that. With ACA, great point, Priscilla. If you're ACA healthcare, if you're an employer of 50 or more and you offer ACA healthcare to your employees, you must pay for at least 50% of that for your employees. With this, you don't have to pay any of it. You can pay all of it, but you don't have to pay any. You just have to be the sponsoring employer. You can have 100% deducted from their paycheck. So yes, there's no size limit. We're focusing on the under 50 group, but Priscilla, you can take it to anyone. Lavina, thanks for the info. Perfect, thanks. Lavina, all right. Lavina. You bet, thanks for the clarification. Another question, do we have any plans to offer lending to investors for real estate or renovations? There are some hard money lenders doing it. Timothy, great question. We have a lot of people who do real estate flipping and remodeling and rentals. As long as you have existing revenue, you got to have existing revenue. So we're not going to give you money to go buy a house if you don't have revenue. But if you're already doing rentals and you have a lot of revenue coming in every month, we base it on your current revenue and your past revenue as a future indication of future revenue. So if you don't have a lot of history and your revenue fluctuates month over month and you have a lot one month and nothing the next month and a lot the next and nothing the next, you're not going to get capital with us. Not much anyway. So we're looking, but if you got 50 houses rented out and you're bringing in $50,000 a month in rental revenue and you're looking to get 100 grand to build a place, yeah, those are the type of things we can do. But we're not a real estate lending company. You can do whatever you want with the money, but we're not getting a 30-year mortgage here and giving you, 100 times what you make a year, stuff like that. Are chiropractic services covered? There are some chiropractic coverage, yes. Kelsey's follow-up is most excellent. Yes, it is, Bob. Thank you for saying that. Wow, this has the potential to be a big deal as it pertains to health insurance. Eugene, you just summed it up, buddy. We believe this will become the residual dynamite in the home-based business industry. There's nothing out there like this. Nothing out there like this. You do not have to be licensed to market this. We are providing a huge savings. One of the things I didn't mention, but I'm going to say it here, it can cause confusion, but if you sign up a company, and let's say you sign me up and I'm a business owner and I have 10 employees, and those 10 employees are all in the family plan, and let's say they're all paying $365, they're all paying $425 a month for the family plan. Well, 200 of that is the claim fund. So there's 10 employees paying $425 a month, but 200 of that is for the claim. So that's $2,000 a month going into the claim fund. At the end of the year, 24 grand is put in for claims. If they don't use all 24 grand, that's given back to me as the employer. And if it goes above all the claims, there's reinsurance covers it. So they're not at risk to cover if it's higher, but if it's lower than the claim fund, they actually get it refunded back so the employer can get some of their premiums back. Now, I shouldn't say premiums. Premiums is a health insurance term. So they get part of their rates back, their monthly membership rate. Okay, so pretty darn cool. But yes, I agree, Eugene. It's a huge savings. Under 10,000 a month in needs, we blow them away. The average person, 80% of the people that have less than 7,500 a year in healthcare needs, we blow them away on covering that 75, not to mention our rates monthly blow them away. Huge savings on 80% of the people out there. Alternative healthcare for 80% of the employees. It doesn't matter, well, I get insurance through my employer. No, you don't. It's being taken out of your paycheck. And if you get it 100% covered by your employer, we need to meet your employer because they're overpaying. And you can save your employer a bunch of money and be a hero. Is this webinar going to be posted so we can see it later? It will be tomorrow. It takes time to process, but yes. barring any technical difficulties. Hello, David. I'm glad I sat in and listened. I need to start sitting in on the funding webinars too. Thank you, Rory. Please do. When's the next one? Well, the Tuesday night, last Tuesday's was recorded. So you want to watch that one. It's in our recording page. You can get that from the Agent Resource Center or our Facebook page. And this one will be put there as well tomorrow. We also have payment processing ones there. But thank you, Rory. You bet, Stacy. Okay, Matt's gonna try. If I have both an employer traditional plan and Freedom Plan, and I use Freedom Plan to cover x-rays and labs and services, I'd be paying out of pocket with my Freedom Plan. I would be paying out of pocket with my Freedom Plan. Would that apply to my deductible? No, no, it wouldn't. You can't double dip on both of them if that's what you're saying. No, not with your insurance. Clara, thank you. This is pretty darn cool, Dave. Thank you, Sandy. Would there be open enrollment periods? No, there's no open enrollment periods, Mark. They can sign up anytime they want. It's just not live till the next day. But if they leave, they're gone. They can't come and go. So if they leave, they're gone at least for a year. So there's no open enrollment, but if you disconnect, you're gone for at least a year, then you can't re-enroll for a year. They're not in the back office yet. We're still fine tuning them, but part of our leadership system will be all these slides will be there. So stay tuned. March Mania is gonna see all kinds of things come to pass. Stephanie says, thank you, David. Got your awesome info and training. Thank you very much for the kind words. Great to see you're getting to provide more insurance. Thank you. Can you tell us more about dental and vision covered? All I'll say is their savings, their pre-negotiated savings prices. We use Carrington Dental, one of the largest dental providers out there. And so what happens is you go in, there's a pre-negotiated price that you pay. So it's a significant savings. It's real. It's not just like 10% off some fee that they mark up. No, you go in knowing what you're paying when you go in. It's pre-negotiated and it's very inexpensive. Strong plans. Carrington's the leader in dental discounting. But I'd say go look at the plans to see all the details because I don't know them in detail. No, there's no coverage for supplements if you mean nutrition supplements, no. Thank you, Siobhan. I know you mentioned the Call a Doctor, virtual doctor. Is that available on all plans? Yes, it is, Kelsey. It comes with every one of our plans, which is huge because that's unlimited doctor visits virtually for free. Like right now, you feel like you've got the flu and you're, oh no, the hysteria. Maybe I got corona. I want to go in and see, but it's 11 o'clock at night. No problem. You can have a virtual doctor visit right now, and you can tell them your symptoms. They go, no, you don't have corona. You have CNN hysteria or Fox News hysteria. Sorry, you don't have corona. So, or I'm glad you don't have corona, and then you have peace of mind. You didn't have to go anywhere. It's done tonight. Anyone who's got our plan literally could hang up right now and have a doctor's visit. And there's no appointment required. It's done. It's through a video, a telephone. You're not talking to some WebMD expert answering using a frequently asked questions. No, you're talking to a board certified doctor. And that comes with it. What if you're not eligible for Medicare? Does it still have a max? Yes, it does. Matt, and I don't know anyone who's not eligible for Medicare. Maybe there's an income or something, I don't know. But no, it does cap off at 64. And if I'm wrong on that, I'm wrong, but I've heard them say on 2 webinars, you cannot get this above 64. So I'm gonna stick with their answer. You bet, Tim. Please double check. SBA told me with 50 employees, employer does have to pay 50%. Well, if SBA told you that, I'll tell you that we've got mixed signals, but so you asked me because you wanted to clarify, because I've been told otherwise, but okay, so we're gonna strike out our answer to, if they have 50 or more, does the employer have to pay 50%? I'm gonna stick with my answer. They have to pay 100%, but they can deduct 100% back from their employee. And all of these, the employer pays for it, but they can deduct 100% from the employees. under 50 employees, and I believe it's all the employees. HVG is saying they were told by SBA that if it's over 50, the employer does have to pay 50%. So let's just say it's an unknown. When you get 50 employees, we'll know the answer. I'm going to stick with the answer. My understanding is the employer can always deduct 100% from the employees on this plan. But if I'm proven wrong, I will certainly change it. I was under the impression the employer didn't have to pay for them. They don't, Beth. They have to pay for it because we bill the employer, but they can deduct 100% from the employee. If it's insurance, they can't deduct 100%. They can only deduct up to 50%. So they have to pay part of it. So what this says is the employer is paying for it, but they can deduct it all back from the employee. So we don't bill each employee. If you own Beth's Bakery, and Beth's Bakery has 10 employees, we bill Beth's Bakery $4,000 this month for 10 employees at $400 each. And then you, from your payroll, deduct $400 from each employee each month, and that covers the 4 brands. So we always bill the employer 100% of it, but they can deduct up to 100% from their employees. With insurance, they cannot deduct 100%. They can only deduct up to 50%. Yes, you can keep this plan. This is a federal plan. You can use this in any state. She said, can I keep this plan if I move to another state? Yes, it's ERISA qualified, which means every state. So you're saying if my client, I could go to a presentation webinar at an employer's office, referring to the gentleman traveling. So you're saying if it's my client, I could go to presentation webinar at employer's office. Let me just clarify, Lavina. SBA is out of Denver. They have experts who will go via virtual meetings anywhere in the country. You have a client and talk to your client on your behalf. Teleconference, so it'll be conference call, video conferencing, whatever it takes, okay? There have been times when they've actually flown out to an office to help sign up a bunch of employees because it was a big company, but they're not committing to do that because they lose a lot of money on that. So they're not committing to do that. It just so happens sometimes they're going to be in that city anyway. Scott Fardulis is traveling all over because he has got all these personal clients. It's like if you had a client in San Diego and another one in LA, and it's one company and they've got 40 offices, you may go, I'm going to learn how to present this to all these myself, and I'm going to travel and I'm going to do it. That's what Scott's doing because he's got one massive company that's got hundreds and hundreds of employees who they've said, go ahead, present it to all of them. So that's what he's doing. You don't have to. Scott is an expert on the plan, so he wants to. We've got internal experts who will help you from afar. So hopefully, Lavina, that answers your question. And he's also gotten licensed. Does the single business like a realtor get a refund? The single business does not. Only co-op groups do, and it's a 2 or more. So an individual signing up from DAC is not an individual business. They're an agent of ours. DAC gets a refund at the end of the year, and we can pass it on and reduce savings, etc. But if there's a claim refund, right? But individual agents won't. You must be in a co-op group yourself of 2 or more to get that refund, Dan. Great question. Well, thank you, Ruth. Appreciate the kind words. The training videos are posted. We have several, but if you're talking about the webinars, Tim, under the calendar of events, you'll see a link for each webinar, and below that link for the live webinar, it'll say, click here for a recording of past webinars. So for webinars, it's under the calendar of events. Well, thank you, Torrance. Hopefully I'm going to see you in Michigan on the 21st. Oh, thank you, Kelly. I'm going to come back to that. How do I approach a new company? Yes, thank you. I'm going to come back to that, Kelly, in 1 second. If it's under the claims and goes back to the employer, even if he doesn't pay anything towards employees, how do employees get compensated back? Karen, it's up to the employer. Because the employer, if they're deducting it all, they could probably pass it back as reduced prices the next year. Okay, maybe their premiums go down the next year. But each employer does it differently, of course. Yes, Ralph, no question. Lots of good venues. You bet, Clevin. I'm about to go over target marketing in a minute. Thank you, Tim. Matthew. Hello, Blendy. Do you know if you go in for a visit and you don't have a procedure, should we expect to pay a use of facility charge or covered under 50/50? If you go in for a visit and don't have a procedure, well, it depends what kind of visit, Stephanie. If you're going in for an Affordable Care Act coverage, like just a physical, it's free. You pay a copay. But if you, I'm assuming you're going in for a reason. If you go in for something and you're thinking maybe you have to have a procedure, if that's what you're asking, they determine, no, you don't. Well, you might have an office visit charge. And if so, then you pay 50% of that. If it wasn't part of your Affordable Care Act mandated wellness visits. But like as an example, a mandated wellness visit, if you're having headaches, they want you to go in and check to see if you have diabetes, right? Or check to see if you've got something going on. So that's a wellness visit. It's like a physical. You're not going to pay for that if they bill it for that. If they say they're billing it for because you're abusing the system and you don't really need it, you're just a hypochondriac, and you know how insurance billing is, right? And how doctors bill. But if it's an Affordable Care Act visit, it's not. You don't pay for it. You pay the copay. If it's not, then you pay 50/50. You bet, Beth. Let me see how many questions. Okay, only a couple more questions, Kelly, and then I'll get to yours about talking to clients. I meant to cover that, and I didn't have a slide, so I obviously forgot. Well, Mark, it's got to be paid for. He's saying, how do you handle seasonal employees? It's got to be paid for every month. So the employer is going to be paying for it every month, and they're going to have to deduct from their employees. How they do that is on them. We don't bill employees. We only bill the employer. So I'm not sure how they would do that. It's a great question. I'm assuming they'd stop covering them when they're not working, but I don't know. And then they go to Cobra, and then the employees could probably pay themselves because they're on Cobra. That's what I'm guessing, Mark. Makes sense, doesn't it? Can we present to the employer and then hand them off? Yeah, Clara, that's what you're supposed to do, actually. You present them to the employer, but you don't hand them off until the conversations are starting. You don't just have them fill out the referral form and then disappear, because they're not going to chase. These are licensed agents. They're not going to chase your employer friend, 15 phone calls. Not going to do it. So it's your job, Clara, to not only get them to fill out the request a quote form, but also to get them on the phone with the licensed expert. What part of Michigan? We're not visiting Ruth in Michigan. I've got an office in Milford, Michigan, so we're doing a training there on the 21st of March in Milford, Michigan, which is down near Detroit. Got it. Scott is licensed, so they keep, yeah, Scott's licensed as well, Lavinia. So that means he can present this. You don't have to be licensed to market this, but you don't want to be presenting it like a licensed person when you're not licensed. And he's using the licensed agents to help him. You bet, Clara. Yes, there are, Clara, presentation slides. Okay, let's go to target markets quick. In the top 10 businesses. There's not what are the top 10 businesses with employees? Everyone who's got employees. I would say any business you're driving by, small businesses are small businesses. So your local restaurant, those employees don't have health care, most of them. Domino's Pizza, most of those employees don't have health care. Some of them have families. That local restaurant with the servers, and there's 30 employees serving food, and they're 28 to 45, they don't have insurance through that provider. They got it on their own, right? So there's a good one. Restaurants, construction companies, landscape companies, any small business. Don't limit it to, well, I want to know who the top 10 are. There aren't top 10. But businesses are businesses. There may be a top 10, but I don't know what that is right now. I just know this. The 3 businesses that I signed up for payment processing today are not businesses I'd put on the list of, let's go talk to them. But all 3 of them are producing a lot of money every month, and all 3 of them needed it. And as far as healthcare, they didn't need healthcare. I thought they would. So there's no way to know except to say small businesses under 50 employees, most of them do not provide healthcare to their employees. Small businesses under 50 employees, most of them do not provide healthcare to their employees. Most of them do not. So that means every single one of them are a good one to talk to. Every single one of them. And I would use common sense. Which small businesses have a lot of men and women between 25 and 40 working there, because they probably have families and kids and want healthcare, like landscape companies, construction companies, restaurants. These are all a lot of, and I'm sure you can name a bunch more. You bet, buddy. Okay, so target market, small business. How to approach a new company. There's two ways. You want to look at this like this, guys. You're providing two solutions here. The solution number one is for the employees to have coverage and the employer to have coverage. You're giving them peace of mind. You're protecting them. You're giving them affordable coverage for the risk in case something bad happens, right? So you're giving them coverage. Right now, they're operating by the skin of their teeth without coverage. So 30 million Americans are. So you're offering protection, number one, affordable protection. But number two, you're offering the opportunity for that employer to be a hero. So you're offering that employer perks, employee benefits, things that make it working there more secure. One of the reasons you take a job, if you have two jobs, that can be in a construction company, this company with no health care provided, and construction company or construction job at this company, same exact hourly pay, same work, but this one allows me to get a group coverage healthcare plan at a real low rate. I got to pay for it, but it's available to me. When you say to the employers, wouldn't it be nice just to offer this? Your employees don't have to take it, but at least offer it. They can't get this unless they're with an employee group, and you've got to do it as a co-op. They can't get it this inexpensive. So be a hero to your employees. Give them this perk. You don't have to pay for it. Let them deduct, take it out of their paycheck, but at least offer it to them as an option. Offer it as an option. So you're going out offering a superhero move to the business owner, and you're offering protection to the employee. So there's two ways. One is when you're talking to the business owner, you're talking about, do you already provide healthcare? You do? What if we could show you a way to take care of your employees with the same or better coverage, but charge you and them a lot less money each month? Are you open to a free quote? Same or better coverage while saving them and you money each month. Are you open to a quote? Same or better coverage without charging you or them as much money each month. Are you open to a quote? $1 coverage, claim refund, no exclusion for pre-existing conditions for sign up, no open enrollment period, lower monthly costs. Are you open to a free quote? So that's what you say to an employer. Are you already giving it? Well, you're already giving it. What if we could show you a way to do same or better coverage, but also at a lower monthly cost and $1 coverage, no deductible, saving you money and them money? You open to a free quote? Well, not only that, there's no exclusion for pre-existing condition. Not only that, any claims at the end of the year that don't get used get refunded to you. You want a free quote? Nothing to lose. We'll give you a free quote. So that's how you present a business. Now, let's say you're talking to your neighbor who's an employee. Hey, do you get healthcare where you're at? No, you don't. Man, I've got a real cool plan your employer might be able to offer. Do you know why they don't offer it? It's just expensive. He says it's just too expensive. Or she says, hey, will you mind putting me on the phone? I might be able to show them a way to provide real affordable health care, same or better than the insurances out there, at a much lower cost and no deductible. Help all you guys out. Do you have an employer there I could talk to? Well, yeah, it's Tom. Well, great. When you're at the office with Tom tomorrow, can you see if it's okay if I call Tom and talk to him about this? Sure. Comes back, and Tom says he's not good at managing the business. His wife, Lisa, is really the one running the show. He wants you to call Lisa. Great. You got her number? Yeah. Hey, Lisa, you don't know me directly. Bill, who works for you, was talking to your husband, Tom, about the health care. Tom said, you're the one who runs the show, and I should call you. We've got a real affordable way that helps your employees have health care, and it's a way that they can have a much lower cost, no deductible, and you guys don't have to pay for it. Are you open to a free quote? You don't have to sign up for it, and none of them have to, but as long as two of them do, I can get you a group rate. Are you okay if I get you a free quote on what type of health care we can provide your employees? gives you an opportunity to help secure them long-term. You're giving them access to discounted savings. You guys become like heroes to them. You're helping to protect your employees. It helps to retain employees. So you'll retain employees, help protect them, yet save them money. You open to checking it out? Love to get you a free quote. Sure, I'll look at it. And you have them fill out the information on your website. Then you arrange a call with Lisa and the SBA expert folks. She's got the quote in her hand, and she's got the SBA experts on the phone. You made it happen. She already knows you. You put her on with them, and you listen, and you learn, and you listen, and you learn, and you listen, and you learn. You don't hang up and disappear. That's not learning. You listen and you learn, and you'll be able to answer questions yourself next time even better. It's that simple. Hopefully that answered your question, Kelly. Any other questions you got? Okay, then I would just say this. You saw strategy 1 today, which is help 3 get 3 through 3, help 3 get 3 through 3. But guess what? We got another strategy coming on internal consumption alone, just by your agents alone using it as you're going out and getting customers. What you want to do as well to drive your residual qualifications. Oh, someone asked a question. What happens if 2 sign up now under an employer and then the rest want to? Can the rest get in? Yeah, they can sign up 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 7 months from now. There's no open enrollment, so they can sign up anytime they want. They can. Someone says, well, I just signed up for open enrollment. They think they can't leave their coverage. Great, you got Blue Cross in January, great, dump them. You can dump them right now and sign up with us for April. Sign up now and you'll be live in April. Call Blue Cross and say you're done and don't pay them for April and you're good to go. You're on with us. So open enrollment with these insurance companies, they lock you in. They want you to sign up only during a certain period and you got to stay with them all year. You can't change. They lock you in for a year. With us, no, you can leave them and join us, and you can join in December or March or whenever. But once you leave, you're gone for a year. You can't come and go. What if my doctor's office isn't on the plan? You got to use it in the network. Unless it's an emergency, you can go out of network. But in network, you must use your network, just like any insurance, right? If you buy insurance, you buy Blue Cross. I got Blue Cross when I started working in longevity, and my doctor wasn't in it. I had switched doctors. I'm glad I did. I actually got a better doctor, but it was a little frustrating for a moment. I had to find a new doctor, right? That is the case when they're not in your network, and it's the same here. Okay, well, that answered all the questions. I appreciate all your time. Wow, we've gone an hour and 20 minutes. We've taken 45 minutes of questions, and hopefully you've got some great benefit from this. I certainly have. I learn every time I do this a little bit on how to do it better and what information to spend more time on, what information to spend less time on based on your questions. So I appreciate all your questions. And if you have any questions about this, if it's compensation related, and email support@davidallencapital.com, support@davidallencapital.com if it's compensation related. If it's related to the service, go to your website and read the brochures and read the forms and all that. And if you say, well, when is that advanced plan coming? You'll believe me. We're going to be making fanfare. You'll know it. There'll be emails that go out. There'll be special calls that go out. There'll be all kinds of information when it's live. So you don't have to say, is it live yet? Is it live yet? Is it live yet? You'll go to the DAC Healthcare site. There'll be a video right on the front page talking about it. There'll be a splash everywhere. So you don't need to email. When's it going to be live? I won't know until the day it's live. That's the reality. Because until we have the 4 or 5 open items resolved, I don't know if that's 1 day or 1 month. I don't know. I would be really surprised if we weren't launching in March that plan. But hey, you know, the last 2 weeks has not progressed very much. So, you know, until we get the progress we need, it doesn't launch. So that's where we're at with it. Hopefully that answers your questions. All right, God bless you all. Welcome to the mission and vision. If you're part of the Trailblazers teams, thank you. Stay tuned for your email coming out tomorrow. God bless you all. Have a great night. This webinar is officially over.